What do you guys think about my beaver? It's bigger than you thought it would be, right? It's pretty big. When my friend was making it, he was like, "How big do you want your beaver to be?" And I was like, "How big can you make?" Like, is the sky the limit? Can we fill the whole building with my beaver? We couldn't. That's as big as you can get a beaver, apparently. But this is amazing, and I love it. And people say, I'm sure sometimes when people are like, oh, they'll watch this and they'll be like, why did you choose to have a beaver up there? And I'm about to get real fucking cheesy with you, and I'm going to tell you it's because I have a beaver tattoo on my wrist. And in like the way of my people, I'm going to white girl explain to you what my tattoo means. Guys, we like Starbucks, and we're like telling you what our tattoos mean. That's what we're all about. When I first, about 5 years ago, I started comedy, and about that same time, I got divorced, and those things were pretty connected, actually. It turned out that for my marriage, it was not a great thing for me to start speaking up for myself and being real mouthy, so they did not mesh, those two things, very well. And I know it seems sometimes people will be like, oh, why did you start in comedy? And it really was because at the same time that I got separated and I suddenly had 3 little boys to take care of on my own with no education and no job experience and no job skills because I was a stay-at-home mom, I started comedy and was like, yep, this is gonna work great. And threw my eggs in that basket, and luckily it did, because poverty is a great motivator, and you really hustle your ass off when you're a single mom. But when I first started, and I had been doing comedy for about 6 months, I was really overwhelmed because I was like, how do you do this? How do you make this work? How do you make a career out of something that's just sort of an idea, And I had this dream one night that my kids and I were standing down by the Boise River, and a beaver swam up to us. And my son, my youngest, picked up the beaver and was petting it, and I was like, oh, no, those are super dangerous, I think. Or maybe not. And he was sitting there, and he was petting it, and then I looked out, and I saw that this beaver had built this big dam across the Boise River and had stopped it up, and there was a big pond, and the water was diverted to one side, and I was standing there thinking, how did one beaver do all of this alone? How did one beaver make this happen? And my son was holding the beaver, and he handed it to me, and you guys, I realized that the beaver was me. Yeah. You're so much nicer than that deserves. And I said to the beaver, how did you build this dam all by yourself? And the beaver said, stick by stick. And I know that's the cheesiest goddamn thing you've ever heard. But every time I get overwhelmed and I get scared and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? How am I gonna do this? I just do it stick by stick. And I just put one stick on another stick and another stick on another stick. And that's what tonight is about. We're just laying some sticks down together, guys. Just putting some sticks down. Thank you. I told my son I was gonna tell that story, and he was like, yeah, don't tell that story. People are gonna think you're a dork. I think the word is out, actually. People are on to that.